Hello my amazing people, Hamza here and welcome back to the channel. Now in this video I'm going to show you how to create a sticky transparent header using Astra Pro. And it brings us more possibilities and features that we can use in creating sticky transparent headers on our WordPress websites. Now in the case you're using the free version of Astra, no worries, you can still use the Astra header builder to create your headers in Astra, though you'll be limited, like you won't be having the possibility to use the sticky features. Anyway, if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you don't miss out on new videos when I push them out. Now let's jump straight into the video and get started. It's going to look just like this, and it will have the option to change the logo once the header changes to sticky, and we can style up our sticky header differently from the normal header. Then I'll also show you how to add the above header and also the possibility to make it sticky in case you want also the above header to be sticky. That aside, I'll also show you how to set up this header on your mobile devices like a tablet and a mobile phone so that it is responsive and looks good on both the tablet and mobile devices. So two things to note before we get started. We should have the Astra theme activated on our website, which you can check under Appearance, Themes. I have my Astra theme activated. You can simply add the theme over here and then search for Astra. Then you should also have the Astra Pro extension because it is the Astra Pro extension that will also give us the sticky header option. That means that you have to purchase this extension from Astra, and you can use my affiliate link right down in the description box below. So once you have your Astra Pro extension installed and activated on your website with your license active, then you are going to click on the settings option and you will be brought over to these Astra Pro modules. I would request you to activate the typography, the spacing and the sticky header option under the Astra Pro modules because we are going to be using this in our header. If you don't have, for example, the typography option activated, we will not have some specific font changes on some widgets in our header. Once that is done, we are going to simply head straight to our customizer. Alright, now we are into our customizer. We are going to look into this option which is called the header builder. But as well, if you want to make changes to your footer, you can simply just come down below here. The most important section inside your header builder is this section down below here because it gives you all the possibilities to add whatever you want to appear in your header. The first row we have over here represents the above header section. The middle row you see over here represents the main header section, and the third row below here represents the below header section. Now, just like you see inside our below header section, we don't have any widgets over there, and that's why you see that under our main header we don't have any widgets over there. The middle one is our main header, and that's where you see the site logo, navigation, a search icon, and a call to action button. The upper one represents the above header section and is the one having the office addresses and all that stuff. Now, to start creating our header section, obviously we want to have our menu in our header, we want to have our logo there, and that means that we have to first of all have our menu created. So to have your menu created, simply just come over here to your website, come straight to menus. And under menus, you can simply just say create a new menu and give it a name. Then you can assign that menu to the areas of your website where you want it to be used. For example, I want this to be used as the primary menu. Then I can say create menu. Then you can assign pages, custom links, or items to your menu by simply coming over here, for example, and say add to menu. If you want to add custom links, you can simply just come over here, add the URL of that page. In this case, I'll just use a £, and then I'll just name this to be about. Then I say add menu. Then you can simply say save changes, and now you have your menu created. Now back into our website customizer, we are going to first start off with creating our main header. So I'm going to delete all these elements you see inside our main header, and we're going to start afresh. So we have our main header empty. So how do we start adding elements to our header? We simply just click over here on the plus sign, and now we're going to look up for the logo option, which is the site identity and logo. Boom. And how do you choose which logo is going to appear over here? You simply just select or click on the widget, and then you can choose either to use an image logo by uploading that logo, or if you don't use the logo, you can simply come over here and say display site title, and once you set display site title, you can enter in over here the site title. And if you don't want to display your site tagline, you can simply just disable that. Then under the design option, that's where we can set up the font face, the color of our site title that is appearing in our header. Just like over here, we can say let our title maybe have that color, and that's how you see that now we have a different color for our site title. Then we can set up a specific font for our site title. Now this option specifically is brought to you by Astra Pro. Otherwise, if you don't have Astra Pro, your website will be using the global font styling by Astra. Once you are done setting up your font face, then you are good to go. Next, what we are going to do is to add another widget, which is for our primary menu. So which is the menu or primary menu. Now you see over here it is displaying the menu we just recently created. However, we can simply come over here, select the widget and come here. Now you see that our menu 2 is selected, which we just recently created. Now we are going to select our main menu, and now it will pop up with all the menu items listed here. Now we can head back to our header builder, and the other thing we are able to do is to position this navigation into the middle of our website or in the middle section of our header, and that's how this section over here comes into play. So we can simply just drag our primary menu widget and position it into the middle of our header, and that's how we happen to achieve a menu like this. Next, we're going to add the search widget, and we can simply click over here because we want it to be after our primary menu but in the middle section of our website. So I'll click over here and then look up for the search widget. However, the search widget we want to use on our website, we want it to cover up the whole view area. And how do we do that? Is by simply coming over here, select our search widget, and then we select the search type. Either I want it to slide search, something like that, or we can change that to full screen search, header cover search, or search box. I prefer to use the full screen search, and that's how we'll achieve to have something that looks like this. We can also customize our placeholder text and, for example, say search for spaces or search for office space. Search for office space. We can increase or decrease the size of the icon. Then the other thing we are able to do is to add a call to action over here. So we are going to come to this very last section of our website, and then we are going to add a button, and that button is going to be, a book consultation button. By default, it doesn't look like this, but simply because I had made some stylings to it, that's how it looks like that. So how do you do the styling? You simply just select over here and then come to this section, or we can say speak to our rep. And then we can link up to a page on our website where we want that button to take the visitor to. We can as well select it to open up in a new page, and we can choose the button size. We can say large button, or we want it to be extra large, or we want it to be just medium size. Under the design option, we can set up the background color and the foreground color of our button. We want it to be maybe a red or something like that, depending on what you choose. And as well, you can choose the color on hover. So we can say maybe the color on hover is also going to be a tint of red. See how that looks like. Then we can as well make changes to our border radius. So we can reduce it so it is a perfect rectangle, or we can have it having rounded borders by simply adjusting this slider over here, and you have your desired rounded border sizes. However, in case you want to add a border on your button, so for example, if I want it to be 1 pixel all over, I can set that to be white color, and that's how our button would look like. But I don't want to add a border over here, so I'll simply just remove the border. So we currently have our header looking just like this. So how do you make your header sticky? Under the header builder, when you scroll down below here, you see we have something called header type. Under the option for transparent header, that's where we can set up our transparent header and where it should appear. In this case, we set it to appear on the complete site. However, if I disable that option, you realize that now we no longer have our transparent header appearing. And also our primary menu is hidden simply because the text is in white. So if you enable that to be on the complete site, you can specifically disable your transparent header on error pages, search pages, and archive pages. You can as well disable it on blog pages, you can disable it on the latest posts, and a lot more. And as well, you can enable your transparent header to only appear on the desktop or mobile, or both the mobile and the desktop. So in this case, I want it to be both on the mobile and the desktop. Okay, so now we have looked into how we turn our header to be transparent. So how do we turn our header to be sticky? So when we come back over here to the header builder, scroll down, and when we come over here to the sticky header option, click over there, and we now have the sticky options showing up. We can stick the above header. When you look over here on our preview website, we don't have the above header sticky. However, if you want to enable that, you simply enable that over here, and then you are good to go. Now we will have our above header sticky. Anyway, I don't want the above header to be sticky. I simply want the primary header to be the one sticky, just like you see over right here. And we can also enable the shrink header effect. You see how it kind of shrinks. That's the effect that we have enabled. So if you have this option enabled, whenever you are scrolling down, your sticky header will disappear. However, if you stop and start scrolling up, your sticky header now will show up. Then we can choose a different logo for the sticky header. Just like you see over here, we have this logo. Now when I start scrolling down, we have a different logo for our sticky header. So that's what I set up over here. If you want to change it, you simply just click over there, and then you are taken to the media library, and you have all these options to choose a logo that you want. Or you can simply upload one that you already have. You can as well make it way smaller or way bigger. I'll just leave it at around 320. So now we have looked into the sticky header options. How do we set up the background color of our sticky header? So when you come over here and select your primary header by clicking over here on the gear icon, we can first set up the height of our header. If we make it like 100, that's how high it will be. If we make it like 200 pixels, that's how high it will take. But I wanted this to be 70, so it will be taking up 70 pixels in the height. We can add a border size to our sticky header, and we can as well choose a custom color for our header. So how do we add the background color over here? By simply coming over here to the sticky header option, and we have the option for the background color. So we can say we want this background color to be so and so color, and there we go, we have a color or a different color for our header. So you can as well make specific changes to the background color of your sticky header on the different devices, just like you see over here. Since now the mobile device is selected, I can say I want a red color. Now when I turn back to the tablet, you realize it's still the other color we had set up for the desktop, as well as if we change the desktop, you realize it's still this other color. Anyway, I want to keep it to be the same color, so I'll simply just come back here, and then I'll reset this to the default one. The other option, we have to look into how our widgets are going to appear when they are viewed on mobile devices, for example, our menu. So when I turn over here to the tablet option, you realize that automatically our menu breaks, and when I click on the pencil icon, it takes me straight to the settings of the toggle button. Now the toggle button automatically appears once your website is being viewed on a mobile device. And now that means that you will have this other feature called the off canvas. Under the off canvas, we can choose how our off canvas is going to look like. When I click over here, the off canvas shows up. Here it will show on the full screen, but as well you can choose it to be as a drop down. When I click over here, now it's a drop down. When I say fly out, when I click now on the toggle, the off canvas shows up as a fly out. I'll leave it to be a full screen because we want our off canvas to take up the whole screen. You can choose whether to use the drop down target as an icon or a link, and the content can be aligned whether in the left, center, or right. Now when we look over here, if I select right, you realize that now our menu is on the right hand side, left turns to the left, center comes back to the center option. So how do we make changes to how our menu looks like inside over here in the canvas? That takes us straight to the off canvas menu. So how do we choose what appears our off canvas menu? You simply just come over here to the menus area and then select the specific menu that you wanted to use as an off canvas menu under your menus area. You can create that under appearances, menus, and you can choose that menu to be an off canvas menu, or you can even use it at different locations. So I'll simply just say save over here. So when I come back into our editor, once you reload, your off canvas menu will be set up to the menu that you set in the menus area. Anyway, now what I'm going to do is publish. Then I'll come back to our header builder. Now you realize that once I click over here, automatically now we have our main menu showing up in our off-canvas menu. We can choose to style up how everything looks inside here by clicking over here on the off-canvas menu, come to design. Now under the design options, we can choose how our menus look like. When I choose this to be in this color or that color, as well we can change the background color. So in the case I want to use the default ones, we set up on the desktop, I simply just reset back this to the defaults and I am back over here. We can as well make changes to the menu font by coming over here, choose the font face that you want, the font size of your menu items. You can add even spacing to your menu items. For example, line height, you can say maybe it is 2.8 just to add more space between the menu items. When we view this on the mobile device, when I open up over here our toggle widget, I don't want that our site visitor has to scroll so that they view the whole menu. So I can make it like 2.5. Then we have all our menu items appearing once someone taps on the toggle icon on the mobile device. Let's go back to the tablet, preview. Yeah, looks good. So I'm done setting up our off-canvas menu. So maybe you will have a question, how did I make that when someone hovers over any of the menu items on the primary menu, they kind of zoom in? When I click over here on the pencil icon of the primary menu, or by simply clicking over here on the primary menu widget, it takes me straight to the primary menu settings. Under design option, I can choose the menu hover style. I had set it to zoom in. I can set it to underline. Now you see it is underlining. When I set it to overline, it will show an overline of that specific menu item, but I'll leave it to zoom in what I had earlier selected. You can as well make changes to your menu color, the text color, and also the background, and also the sticky header options. How does this menu look like when it is sticky? You want the text to be in white, not red. The same for the hover color. So if you come over here and select your hover color, now when I hover over any of the items, you see it changes the color, but I want everything here to stay in white color. Okay, looks good. Now let's look into our above header section. Just like I've shown you how you set up your primary header, that's the same way you can set up your above header option. But in this case, we're having different widgets. So how did we add our address, support email, telephone, and the social media icons? For example, if you want to add the social widget, you simply just click over here, add a new, and you can simply select to add the social widget. Then over here, you can choose which widgets you want to appear over in your above header section by clicking over here and then look up for that network you want to add on your above header. By simply saying add, you realize that now we have the network added. You can as well choose to show the label of the brand or the company. So anyway, under the design option, you can set up the color, the size, and the spacing of your widgets. So for example, over here, the icon size, I put it at 18, but I can even make it, or you can even make it way bigger. You can change the color of the icon. You can as well use the official colors from the companies or from the brands, but I wanted to maintain a custom color. Okay, looks good. Then how did we add these other information? Realize still our header has 3 sections. We have the first column, the second column, and the third column. So I simply just added an HTML widget. For example, when I come over here, I select the HTML1 widget, I position it to where I want. See, now I have my HTML widget over here. Then I can simply click on that HTML widget. Once you select the HTML widget, inside the editor you can add text of what you want. So for example, this is office address. I can change this to simply address. That's how you make changes. And then the divider that you see over here, I simply just added a new widget and then I chose to add a divider. And that divider, when you select that divider, you can choose it to be vertical. You can choose the style to be dashed, dotted, double, or simply solid. I prefer to have it solid, and as well under the design option you can choose how you want your divider to look like and in which color. For the size, so I'll just leave it to be 50%, and the thickness of your border, it can be 5, it can be 1, goes back to how you want it to look like. Anyway, I wanted it to be only in color white, then you can position your divider wherever you want in your above header. Now that's how we managed to add the first HTML widget, the divider, second HTML widget, which actually houses the email. So you see support email, all that, and also second divider widget, and finally, which is this over here, and finally the text or the widget that is holding the telephone contact, which is this over here. We can as well make changes to our above header by choosing how high it will be, just like I showed you that you can set up how high your primary header should be. Now we set it to be 50 pixels, but as well we can set it to be, let me set 30 pixels. So in the case whereby you want actually to set up an above header for your mobile device, for example the tablet or the mobile, you simply have to switch to that device and then you have to add those widgets separately. For example, if you want to add your HTML1 widget and then your divider 1, HTML2 widget, and then you also add your divider 2, and then you add your HTML3 widget, HTML3 widget, and as well you can come over here and then add your social icons. Anyway, I don't want to display anything in my above header on the mobile devices, and that's why you see that my header looks just like this. Then in the case you want to make changes on your toggle button for the mobile devices, let me say for the tablet or for the mobile phone, simply just come over here to your main header, select the toggle button which is holding the off canvas. The off canvas is this what shows up when I click on the toggle button. So when I select the toggle button, I can choose how my icon will be like for the toggle button. I can choose to have this. I can choose it to be a fill. You can as well add a label and say menu on your toggle button, just like this. And if it's a fill, that's how it will look like. I prefer not to have the label. I prefer to have it minimal and using this icon over here. And that's how you achieve to have your toggle button just like that. Anyway, in a nutshell, that's how you can create a sticky transparent header using Astra Pro. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it has brought you value and that now you have an idea of not only knowing how to use the new Astra header footer builder, but also how you can create your own sticky transparent header using Astra Pro. So in the case that you fall into issues while you're trying to create your first header using Astra, please let me know down in the comment box below. Otherwise, I wish you the very best. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good time and goodbye.